going on, Shaq?
Have you been outside today?
I have. Absolutely beautiful, I have to say.
It is hazy.
Hazy.
Yes. It's
Okay.
hazy, and that's because the smoke from, whatever wildfires are happening in Canada.
Ah.
Oh, this bitch came in here with a I don't know if you heard her the minute you hit record, she kicked the door in and came in like, "Meow, meow, finally, I get a chance." Okay.
Oh man, for
No.
those listeners at
Yeah.
home, Lucinda is on the pod right now.
Lucinda is
She
on the pod.
real concerned about these fires. She as
Yeah,
soon as she heard it.
she can see I, went outside and then immediately went back home and was like, "Let me get an extra mask because I feel like," and sure enough, um, when I got to Manhattan, it smelled like smoke, like
Ah, see, I
burning
haven't made
smoke.
that kind of true. That's
Yeah, but it
different.
is still hazy where we are. Like, as beautiful as it is right now, if you were to go
Yeah.
up and look at the sky, that
Oh,
sky should be bright blue.
see, this is something I've discovered about myself.
Uh-oh.
I don't look up. Like real talk. People be talking about sunlight and like the night, the star. I don't look up at all. Like what's up there for me, Sha? Like why people looking up at the sky for?
'Cause, I mean, the sun's up there for you.
But it
Um,
sends me what I want down. I don't gotta look
yeah,
up for it. It lights up the floor for me. Good looking. Like I'm not mad at you, but I don't like look up at it at all.
no, I understand that. It's not that I think it's not that I'm advocating for looking directly into the sun. Not a good idea. With or without an eclipse, not a good idea. Um, but there is something I think nice about feeling the sun on your face,
Okay.
especially, there is something kind of refreshing about that. In the way that people who like doing things where your face is, uh, directly in contact with, like, wind,
Okay. Okay.
like
I see.
skating or riding a bike or a motorcycle or a roller coaster or any of those things that I don't do.
Right.
I don't fully know the sensation of wind on my face. When I encounter it, I'm like, "What is that?" And sun is, can feel like that, but also, in this case, you can look up and see if there's a problem.
That's
And
fair.
there
Okay.
there is a problem because it should be like, weather-wise, it is beautiful,
Right.
and the sky should be blue, bright blue,
Right. I agree.
because it's like one of those no clouds in the sky kind of thing.
Right.
But if you go out there now, the sky is not bright. It's got like a cloudy haze,
Yeah, low filter.
a little filter, but it also smells like smoke, and that's not a healthy looking filter. That's not that's not the kind of filter that makes everybody look good.
Fair.
We all look like war it has come or it's a
Okay.
coming.
So so one, I def don't look up.
Mhm.
I'm realizing that now because of moments like this. Like that whole time when like everybody was like in New York and New Jersey talking about like, oh, I see satellites and like aliens. Never seen any of those things. I saw none of that.
Okay.
I'm never looking up at the sky.
Alright.
Now, well, I had a second point. You were saying
Oh, you should be able to see you can tell whether or not the sky is sick. Basically,
right.
you
So,
gotta
and that
look up to
so
see it.
that's the other thing. You're right. Thank you for that. So I think that the last few years of social media and camera technology advancing so much,
Mhm.
I see log footage as normal. Like when people record stuff with the fancy camera and before they fix the color, it
Uh-huh.
looks like it's in log. I think that's how the world looks to me all the time now.
Explain to me what in log means.
So like a log is a video recording format that like it captures more data so that when you edit the coloring later, you could do more. You could push the boundaries more. But when you first look at it, it actually looks really dull. So
Oh,
when I
like
see footage like that, it looks professional and normal to me, just not finished. So there's
Okay.
times like in the world, I think something should be alarming, like, oh, that person should look sick. And Gabby will point it out. But like to me, it just looks like, oh, they just in log. Like they just haven't finished coloring them yet for the
Right.
day. Yeah. I don't think that's normal to be clear. I'm just saying that my eyes have seen log footage so much that like it's becoming normal to me when I see like a sky that's less than blue or a person that like hasn't seen the sun in like 4 weeks. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Right.
Um,
Well, to that, um, I would say then when you see conversations about or I would ask rather, when you see conversations about, people discussing how the color in movies made today looks compared to movies from back in the day or even television
right,
shows. Um, and people are talking about how the colors are very dull and there's no everything is just like a very murky version of any color.
right.
Do you go, "What are they talking about?"
Yeah, like to me, it's like, yeah, that's how it's supposed to look. Like it takes me a minute. I have to see the references that people are talking about to understand what they think.
Right. Okay. Well, right now, you would not be able to see those references because it all looks like what you think looks normal, and it's
Word.
not normal.
Okay.
It's not good.
Good
Like
to know.
and also, you'll feel it if in your throat
Yeah.
because it's the air quality ain't great. So you'll feel it in your throat and it'll be dry no matter what you do, and you'll be coughing. And then you may, if you're old school enough, you may go, "Is this COVID?" And then you go through all the tests, but that's not it. And I mean,
Right.
just depending on how much you feel like really looking into it. But the air quality is yucky. It smells like burning in certain areas. Um, in a way where like I smelled it going into the subway, but smelled like wood burning.
Right.
But I smelled it going into the subway, and I was like, I mean, if I didn't already know what this was, I certainly should not be going down these stairs. Yuck, but also, I mean, how much wood is on Manhattan anyway? We got rid of all of that.
Real
So,
talk, yo. If that's how the trains are running, that explains a lot. Like real talk,
yeah,
B.
if it's still wood burning trains.
Real talk. Yeah. That's why I can't get in any seats, yo. There's a whole train dedicated to the wood burning,
Right, yep,
Whole car.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, there were delays, so I wouldn't be surprised, but,
Real talk.
yeah, so that's just kinda, I mean, I guess until it rains again, which maybe that'll make a difference. Just know that if it seems hazy, there are no clouds, n
Right.
n like, no, like, "That's a cloud," it's just like an overall kind of haze, but it's not foggy. Like, it's not
Oh,
like it doesn't feel clammy. And it's not like you can't see in front of you.
right.
It's just overall just kinda hazy. Yeah, that's Canada. That's their fault.
Yo, real
Yeah.
talk. I mean, Canada, fix your shit.
I
Real
mean,
talk.
I guess I think maybe they're doing I don't know if this is like a controlled burn,
Oh, yeah,
you
I've heard
know?
right. We've talked about that on the show.
Yeah, yeah, I think the last time that their smoke tried to kill us. Might have been like last year or 2 years ago. I don't even remember anymore. So many things are trying to kill us actively that I can't even
Yo,
keep up. But yeah.
real talk. Yo, that like so is Canada like a shitty neighbor? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, they leaves is like coming over your fence, but they're like, nah, that
Um
tree growing on my side,
No,
you
I
can't
think
cut it.
we're way shittier than Canada is. I don't know if Canada's a shitty neighbor. I don't s They could be in some parts, but I think overall we're probably shittier because 'cause we're bigger and we just act like, our way goes because 'cause
Right.
we're the biggest part of North America, but, I think we might actually be smaller in Canada, actually.
Yeah, like I think in terms of like land,
Land,
we got
actually, Canada may
real
have us
close.
beat.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Canada, probably, is very polite, but they're probably a hot mess once you go over there for dinner, and
Real
they start
talk.
fighting amongst each other. It's probably like, "Whoa, calm down." Who knows? But, yeah, no, I mean, yeah, this is, from fire or whatever, but, like, we've certainly sent clouds of pollution their way.
Well, listen, if there's a safety issue, you know what I mean, sincerely, now figure that out. If this is y'all just like burning up, then you know what I mean, that's fucked up, B. You know what I
Well,
mean?
I mean, it could be like because I feel like the last time it wasn't, or maybe it started with, see, there it is. That's you coughing. That's
Real
it.
talk. It got me. Oh
um,
damn. It got
yeah,
me.
see, they got you. I feel like last time maybe it started out controlled and then it wasn't.
Okay.
Um, and then I mean, that could be the case now, except I read that this would happen around this time, like 4 days ago.
Mm.
So that makes me think, well, maybe it's controlled.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
if they're like, "Hey, keep an eye out, like, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're probably gonna get a little smoke." And I'm like, "Okay, well, then that means you know that something's,
It's
like,
coming, yeah.
that, like, you have an idea of how much, who knows?" I mean, honestly, we lost all our weather, not all of our weather people in America, but enough that there's a clip going around of a weatherman on television saying, "Hey, man, they let go a lot of people, and so we can't, um,
You can't tell you
like,
what it's gonna
tell you
be?
when, like, hurricanes are hitting."
Nah, B.
And I don't know, I hadn't even looked at this week's stories. Is one of the stories about how the head of that department didn't realize there was a hurricane season?
No, but it should be.
Oh,
That is
Lord.
wild.
Let me try and find this guy. Like, he said this to the people working there. "There's a hurricane season?" Oh my
What?
god.
Cause
Oh,
I
man.
yo, like I was having a good day. I got up early. I cleaned up the turtle tank.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Made sure South Sally had a fresh set of water.
Right.
You know what I mean? That was love. Went outside, brought the trash cans in. You know what I mean? Said what's up to sanitation.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Ordered a sandwich. You know what I mean? I've been having a vibe. You know what I
Right.
mean? Uh, yeah, I admittedly, but all this is early. Like I'm up at like 6 today. So like it was like the gloomy, not that sunny look is kind of just that time of day.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I didn't get an accurate read
Yeah.
like you did going into the
Well, I
city.
mean, the thing is, it should, like, it was, well, it's hard to tell because yesterday I thought that there'd be some smoke, but there wasn't, and it actually looked really nice, very
Yeah.
blue. So it may have come in overnight or something, but I know when I went outside, I got, like, 2 houses down before I turned around and was like, "Let me grab a mask because
Oh.
this is not, nothing is supposed to be this color of yellow." It's like everything was the color of bile.
Oh
Okay,
shit.
here it is. The acting FEMA chief told staff he didn't know about the US hurricane season. That's a headline in the New York Times.
Yeah, that's wild.
Um, the acting head of the Federal Emergency Management Agency told employees on Monday, oh shit, that he did not know the US had a hurricane season, according to two people who heard the remarks and said it was unclear if he was serious.
Yo,
Um,
real talk. That's kind of wild. Like, nah, that's just how he joke. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, I think that's the thing is that, all right, the official David Richardson has served in the Marines and worked in the Department of Homeland Security's Countering Weapons of Mass Destruction office.
Oh, that dude
After
don't
he
got no
joined
humor.
FEMA in May, some FEMA workers expressed concern about his lack of experience in emergency management. The remark coming a day after the start of the Atlantic hurricane season could deepen those concerns. The Department of Homeland Security, which oversees FEMA, said in a statement that Mr. Richardson was joking.
Yo, man, real talk. Yo, bullshit your way into any job you want.
No, I
Lie on all the
no.
resumes. We got people over here running FEMA, ain't seen no weather reports. He don't know how it's done, and he
Yeah.
thriving. You know what I mean?
Is he thriving?
At life,
Because
maybe not at the job, but at life.
is he thriving at life? I feel like, honestly, at this point, if you have any in like brain power left that you haven't immediately ceded over to Trump or MAGA or whatever you wanna call it, when you get called in to run a government agency, like, right now, I would be like, "Nah, I'm good, because there's no way
Yo,
Like, they're not offering you something that I mean, it has a cursory relationship to what it is that you've done. You know
at
what I
all.
mean? Like, there's but it 'cause, more often than not, it's gonna be something you have absolutely no idea how to run. And, you're gonna the person who probably asked you or put you in that job, is also a little nuts. And so he, at any point could just be like, "You out, you talk," like, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't take any job in Washington. Like, I mean, I wouldn't be there anyway. I think that is all clear. But I for sure would be thinking like, you've gotta, you know what? Actually, you don't have to watch the news and be like, "Yeah, this is a mess." You could watch it and go, "Exactly as we planned." Who knows? But
Real talk, while
that
stroking
is
a
a
cat.
wild joke to make. Just like,
Yo,
"Oh, I didn't even know there was a hurricane season."
I do real.
'Cause,
Richardson,
the thing is, I think there are plenty of people who don't know there's a hurricane season.
I agree, but they wouldn't have that job.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's why it doesn't, to me, work as a joke because it's like, yeah, you could mean it. You could, considering everything else that we've seen going on here, you could truly mean it.
Real talk.
And
Yo,
also, why is the department the one saying, "Ah, he was kidding"? Why didn't he go, "Just playing. I'm just playing, y'all. I
real talk.
know."
Y'all know
Like,
how I be joking?
yeah,
Come on, man.
they finished the meeting after that. Like, they kept talking, and he didn't tell him, "I'm not kidding," in the meeting? You had to
Yo,
wait. There had to be a statement?
yo, he a pro B. That was his closer. Real, yo. Leave him wanting more, baby. Hell
Oh,
yeah, yo. That's what it is, yo.
oh,
Real talk, man.
no.
That's the professional comedian Richardson. You know what I mean? Running the FEMA department to the top of the charts, but not to accurately reading weather.
No, yeah, so
Oh my goodness, that is scary, yo. Real
yeah,
talk.
that's real scary. So, anywho, that's why, like, your phone I think the people Trump and his folk were like, "We're just gonna get rid of, like, that whole weather, the national weather thing, because you can get all of that on your phone." And it's like,
But they the ones to put it
"My
there, B.
man, where do you think your phone is getting it from?"
Yo, real talk, yo.
Ugh.
There's a there's a level of like bliss that you got to be living your life with when you Trump, where like you don't need to know anything past like level one, and you still president. Like I'm wondering, like how many of the secrets do you think they really told him?
What do you mean?
Like there's secret stuff that like I feel like as a president you need to know. Like, hey, just in case these are the codes, and like, yo, by the way, there's this crazy thing happening over here. It ain't
Mhm.
even public, but like, if we keep, doing our job, it'll never come out. You know what I mean? I think the people in charge around the president have seen how he acts, and they like, yo, we can't even give him this. You know what I mean? And
Well,
they handling that on their own.
here's what I think is happening there. There are lots of people who think that they can. I think there have been many people who have come through, like his previous administration, thinking they're gonna be able to be the one to get over on him.
Right,
And, so I'm sure there have been times where someone has withheld information,
right.
like, he doesn't need to know that. But I'm also sure there have been snitches that have told him because they wanna
Ah,
be in his good graces. The thing is, a lot of people want Trump to like him because they don't want the smoke when he doesn't.
right.
So, even so, for the ones who thought they knew better than Trump, and
They
that's
not there
still the
no more.
case. Yeah, there's still, I think, a couple of people who are like, "I can get in there and I can do it." I know in the first time he was up, everybody who thought they could do it got scorched, but
All right,
I think I got it. Um, and, honestly, the only way that if we're paying attention and we're learning any lessons, the only way that you can do it, uh, and he lets you do it is that you have to be a billionaire.
right.
You gotta have more money than him. And so, otherwise, he won't listen to you. He'll entertain you, but he won't listen to you, is what it seems like. So, there may have been things before that that were kept from him, but I think this time around, he doesn't care because
Right.
he's seen what could be possible when you're in there. And this time, he's working from desperation, like, because he is trying to keep
Uh,
himself out of jail.
right,
He's
right,
trying to stay out of prison. So, he's doing whatever, and rules be damned. And that's partially, I think, the people who put together, whatever this plan is that they're working on, the Project 2025 folk, but also a lot of that is Trump. Just, just dancing to keep from just doing what he can to keep from all of it falling apart and him ending up wherever. Um, so yeah, like I think he doesn't care about those kinds of things. And he knows if he needs to, there's somebody somewhere who will get that to him. Look, I mean, if you are someone who kind of believes in manifesting,
right.
I mean, your man has manifested himself back into this fucking job. He's manifested himself out of prison. He ain't there. Always said he wasn't going to go there, and that motherfucker ain't there. I mean, I'm not saying he got the secret, but my man got something.
Real talk, yo. He a
Yeah.
fan. He a fan. Real talk. He's read the book. He saw the
Yeah,
movie.
he
All of
watched
them
all
joints.
of it. He saw him
Real
on
talk.
Oprah, the whole thing.
Oh man. Continuing with that, now Rocky's win turns Poland towards nationalism and casts doubt on Tusk's centrist government. Conservative Karol Nawrocki's victory in Poland's weekend presidential runoff has set the country on a more nationalist course and casts doubts on the viability of the centrist government of Prime Minister Donald Tusk after the defeat of his liberal ally. Now Rocky, who was supported by U.S. Donald Trump, won by 50.89% of the votes in a very tight race against Warsaw Mayor Rafał Trzaskowski. Sorry about the names. Who
You
received
doing better than me.
real talk? I'm trying out here. Uh, who received 49.11% of the votes. So yeah, like just for like perspective or a bit more clarity, that race is super tight. 20,750,000 people voted,
Mhm.
and the difference was 250,000 between the two people. So
Okay.
10,500,000 people voted for the winner. 10,250,000 people voted for second place. Like
All right.
super tight race.
So, what does this mean for us? Because I'm a
Yo,
dumb American. So,
uh,
what does this mean?
one, we got another dude that's in Trump pocket. You know what I mean? It's another the Trump uh supported candidate one. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Two, it continues to like show the power of social media in elections. This was
Why?
a super tight election that was affected by like local social media,
Okay.
swung the vote, and in an incredibly tight election. This is the equivalent of like New York State having an election and the winning the winning governor being like elected by like Bushwick only. You know what I mean? Like it was that tight of a race. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay.
So yeah, wild times. Make sure you get out there and vote. Every vote counts.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, like, long term, what is this gonna do? Like, alright, is Pol look, I know nothing about what they're doing over there, right? So,
Yeah,
is Poland part of the EU?
I that's a good question. I don't know. I know Poland as a place where like people immigrated here at one point.
Okay,
That's
alright.
really it.
Well,
That's my history of it. A lot of them came over.
I'm
Some of
gonna
them are the
look up
homies.
Poland AU
Real
EU.
talk. Polish folk. I got homies. My boy shouts to Adam Ledwosen. That's my dude.
Alright, pro EU. Oh, and a setback for the pro EU government. Oh, okay. So
right?
they've
That's
been
no
a
bueno.
member, but I guess they don't necessarily want this person or this wing, the right wing, they don't necessarily want to.
Right.
Okay, so that great. So it all could crumble at any time.
Amen.
Everyone
Uh,
stay hydrated while you can before they take our water.
real
To
talk.
stay hydrated. Oh
Poland's
lord.
also one of the places we got a lot of government army stuff over there. Like we got like soldiers stationed in Poland all the time.
Oh.
Yeah. I know that. I just don't know what it's near. So I don't know, like, is that something we should be stressing? But I know that they always got soldiers there.
I mean, Poland, I don't know what I child, I don't know nothing. Who who's Poland next to? That's what this is me Googling right now. Who
Real talk,
is
yo. Poland near the Czech Republic,
okay.
Slovakia,
Right.
Russia, Lithuania,
Oh, okay, got it.
it looks like Germany and the Ukraine.
Yeah,
Rock
yeah,
on.
because they roll over. Alright, I don't even Google isn't this is how rare that question's asked. Google is not finishing up my I'm like, "Who
Like,
is
is this
Poland?"
Shalewa?
And they're like, "President? No, not who is Poland Springs owned by? No, not the water.
They know who's typing. They're like, nah, you don't want to know
No, who
about
is
Poland.
Poland next to? Come on now."
Oh, that's awesome. Real talk, I would have got that wrong. I thought Poland was near like Finland and Sweden.
No, what? You
I
thought it was
thought,
by the Netherlands?
yeah, I thought it was up there. Like I thought it was part of that whole squad.
I mean, it's oh, you like the part that, like, hangs down with the rest of them.
Yeah, I sincerely thought like if you would have asked me to like what's it next to, I would have said Sweden, Finland, Poland.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, no.
I thought that was a
I knew
squad.
it was in the middle of, where it was in the middle of, but I don't think I knew the exact borders.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
So
Um,
Poland was part of like USSR? I mean,
no
nah, pardon me. I'm bugging out.
no.
Because it's
Uh,
near Russia and it's near the
yeah, but,
Ukraine.
I mean, like, all the things that broke off from there are in between, like Estonia and Latvia.
Gotcha. See,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real. So this whole side of the world, look, full transparency. I don't know much,
I
as
don't know
you can tell.
nothing. I'm telling
Real talk.
y'all right now, anybody who knows anything about Europe is listening to us like, "These fucking idiots."
Real
But you know
talk.
what? They sell microphones to anybody. So
And unlike the other
there.
ones, we tell you we idiots. I
Right,
don't know.
exactly. We're
I
not
don't know. I ain't pretending to know.
no one running for president should be on this podcast.
Real talk. But like this whole side of the world, I got to know them in the 2000 like 3 to 8 era as like, oh, that's where the poker players come from. They're like,
Yes.
yo, they look like, you know what I mean? They
Yes.
had a vibe, you know what I mean? This
Right,
was an
yes.
era. Real talk.
Big poker playing
Big poker
area,
playing
yeah.
energy and area, you know what I mean?
I
So
th
they had a poker playing type. I would see like, oh, you from over there,
Right.
you know what I mean?
I think that it supplanted, the chess players for a while
Real talk.
in the, US consciousness.
Yo, there
Um,
was money in it.
there was money in it, lots of hats,
Real talk.
lots of
Sunglasses
sunglasses.
inside. I see y'all.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
inside sunglasses and
Real talk.
hats.
These were the white dudes that would shave, but I wouldn't like associate them with negative thing. I'd be like, oh, you kind of like heard a hip hop song. It just wasn't in English, but you heard it over there. You
Okay,
know what I mean?
alright,
Real talk. I found
alright.
like in the midst of that whole poker boom, like
Mhm.
because like, I was seeing these dudes from like countries that I didn't know of that would like they kind of had hip hop clothes because they were still like my generation, and like
Okay,
I would like ask them, and they would be like, "Yeah, like we got rap over there," and they would like show me their like rap artists, and it was
okay.
trippy to be like, "Yo, this is the biggest artist in Poland or whatever," and I'm like, "Yo, like y'all got like 9 million people, like." So like is the biggest artist selling like 60 CDs? Like I don't understand how that works. You
It
know,
works
you know what I
because
mean?
everyone just like it works here, just on a smaller scale,
Yeah. Cause
and
I
it
was thinking like at least here, like hip hop was one of the bigger genres. Hip hop can't be in that like 2003's Poland. Polish hip hop wasn't a top genre in my head. I don't think it was.
Oh,
You
I'm
know what I
sure
mean?
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the kids.
Yo,
The same way, it's lit the same way, just scaled down.
Polish
Like,
listeners of the
and
pod.
also, just the novelty of I mean, some people I'm sure, like, felt it, but then
Right,
perhaps the novelty of, because I don't know what the black population of Poland is,
right.
um, but there gotta be a few, right? So there's
Real
that.
talk. 36
Um,
million people in Poland.
yeah, so I'm sure there are a couple of black Polish people.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
Poland
everywhere.
has yo,
Uh-oh.
36 million people in Poland. Yo, right?
Okay. Uh-huh.
The black population in Poland
Uh-huh.
estimated to be slightly above 4,000. Shot.
Do they name all 4,000 people?
Real yo, 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 that's wild, yo.
Okay, alright. So then maybe it's just the novelty. But I mean, you know.
Oh, that's insane. That's so wild, yo.
Yeah.
Yo, that's different. Oh man, that's crazy.
That's so funny.
Real talk. Yeah, I was gonna act so wild too. I was gonna be like, yo, anybody in Poland, if you
But
listening, but not. I already know you not. But if
yeah,
you
you
are,
might be. I
you
mean,
might
look,
be. We
you
got
might
listeners
be.
everywhere. If you listening, I want to know. Send me a link to the J Dilla of Poland. Okay.
Okay, don't
I want
just to any
I want
we'll
to see
take
who deep in
whoever
the
your
cuts.
top Polish rapper is.
Real talk. I want a purist. You know what I mean?
I don't need a purist. I wanna know what the people are listening to. I don't
Real
need to
talk.
I don't wanna dig in the Polish crates just yet. Let me see let me see what you got by way of a Drake or a or a Kendrick or a Jay-Z. Like, let's see what your basic let's see what your baseline is before we can see what your underground scene looks like.
Real talk, yo.
Your underground scene is probably where all 4,000 of those black people are.
Real talk, yo. Send me that Polish Quell Crisp, okay? Now I mean, send me some Bahamadia. I want some deep cut Polish music, okay?
I no, I want your populace for now. I'll make the I'll yeah, yeah, send us eat one of each.
There you go.
I wanna see what's popping, and then we'll see what it looks like elsewhere.
Yo, that is a curveball. Did not expect that.
That's
Uh
very funny.
another news, Patty Lupone,
Oh, let's go. Let's get into it. Come
real
on now.
talk,
Let's go.
apologizes for disrespectful comments made about fellow Broadway actors during New Yorker interview. Patty LuPone has issued an apology after making what she now describes as demeaning and disrespectful comments about two fellow Broadway stars in an interview. The Evita star apology comes after hundreds of performers from Broadway and theater communities issued an open letter first published by Playbill and calls for the accountability in light of LuPone's deeply inappropriate and unacceptable public comments about Broadway stars Keisha Lewis and Audra McDonald.
Mhm.
In an interview, Lapone referred to Lewis as a bitch and said McDonald was not a friend, prompting a wave of backlash against the notoriously thorny legend. Lapone had previously had public spats with both performers.
Okay. Alright. So, did you know anything about this before someone sent this to you?
I knew about this because of Gabby. Gabby's big
Oh,
on like
right.
theater Broadway shit.
Right, right, right.
I just didn't know who any of these people were.
Okay.
So she was like, this was like her telling me this was the same as her telling me about like beef at work. Like, I don't know the faces. I'm like, you need me to know this, baby? I love you. I'm gonna know this. Like, every
Alright.
name she said sounded like, oh, word. Like, and she like, that's the lady that's the secretary, or that's the VP. Like, all right.
I mean, that's ultimately it's definitely, it is office it is
Real
definitely, like,
talk.
kinda that kinda thing. Because I'm thinking of offices I've been in and, like, the kind of and this smacks of that.
Real
Um,
talk.
so those who don't know, even after that excellent synopsis that Gastor just read. Basically, Patty LuPone is was, kind of big. She's big shit
Yeah.
in Broadway. And she's a real, like, straight shooter, right? She calls it as she sees it. She doesn't pull punch, she just lets loose with it. She lets the chopper spray all the time.
Word.
And people are like, "Yeah, because she's Patty LuPone and you need a live wire, and that's how she acts great," and all of this stuff, and that's great. Um, so basically, she was doing like a two-man show, with Mia Farrow, I think, and their
Mm.
theater was up next to, the theater that was doing, I don't even remember the name of the show. It's Alicia Keys's, musical,
Okay.
which they call a jukebox musical. A jukebox musical is when they use existing songs, usually popular, uh, songs in the musical, like Mamma Mia.
Okay. And
That
it's
was
called,
cons
Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, Hell's Kitchen, that's it, because that's where Alicia Keys grew up, that's it. So, so Alicia Keys has one, and the theaters, either shared a wall or something like that, and so there's some bleed through,
Ah,
you know, of sound,
okay.
because, Patti LuPone and Mia Farrow were doing a play, not a musical. And that's, over there, they're all, "No one," or whatever the fuck they're singing over there. And, and so I guess there was, like, Patty was just like, "Hey, y'all, can you keep it down?" And they made some adjustments or something, and, I think maybe they sent her flowers or whatever, but,
Okay.
um, she made a video of herself talking about it, but still was just like, they need to keep it down or whatever. I'm paraphrasing. I don't know what exactly she said. But that was like the vibe.
Right.
And or she just was just like, yeah, whatever. And so but she was still kind of talking shit about the show. And so
Right.
the star of that show, Keisha,
Okay.
um, made a video of just like, okay, here are microaggressions. Why this has always been a problem on, or this has always been something on Broadway, is that the theaters are right next to each other. Sometimes there's bleed over sound. We made adjustments. Why are you still why is your foot still on our neck? Like, I thought we sent you flowers, we worked it out, but this is just
Yeah.
some old microaggression shit. Keisha, we should probably mention in case you didn't catch it by the name, black.
Right.
She's the lead in the Alicia Keys show, so Patty LuPone, in case you didn't catch it by firecracker, white. Um, and so, and to add to that, Audra McDonald, who's also black and currently on Broadway now doing Gypsy,
Right.
um, put hearts in the comment section of Keisha's video, which Audra, girl, you were being messy. Stop.
Mhm.
I mean, I know you agree and all, but you could agree like, "I know that's right," and kept swiping. You don't have to put them hearts in there, girl. You were being messy. I love it. I respect it. More of it. But um, yeah. So that was that's that. That's where what it's built on. So
Okay.
Patty in this New Yorker profile, which I read, and this bitch is just going all over Broadway, just looking for Sherry and just talking loud at hockey games and just flouncing in and out of rooms and shit. Um, said basically about Keisha, like, this bitch talking about she a veteran. I've done 30 something shows and she's only done seven. And really it's more like 27 and 10 or something like that.
Right.
But either way, her point is that don't call yourself a veteran of the stage, bitch, if you hadn't done as many shows as I am. I'm Patty fucking Lupone. Ultimately.
Right.
But the bitch part definitely, because that's what everyone got mad at. Like,
Right.
oh wow. And then Audra, she just was just like, oh, I have my problems with her. She hasn't been a friend in a long time. We've had we're in a spat now, or we've had our spats, or blah blah blah. Um, and then they asked, "Well, what do you think of her being in Gypsy?" And she just was like, just looked out the window and was like, "What a lovely day." Like, real just real drama club shit. And, Audra, so someone was interviewing Audra and was just like, "Hey, what do you know, there's this whole thing, Patty LuPone said this," and she was like, "Well, I mean, I don't know what we could be fighting about. I mean, I haven't seen her in, like, 11 years. Basically, I don't know her.
Right.
I don't know her, I wish her well, but I haven't seen her in 11 years, and I don't know if there's something that she's got a problem. That's on her, that's not me. That's on her. I don't know what she's talking about."
Mm.
Which could have been left alone like that, everybody just angry with each other, but then Broadway had a whole fucking, like, sign here, a whole open letter to to Patty LuPone of just like, "Hey, you need to get your shit together.
Yo,
You
real
can't talk,"
talk.
because as great as Patty LuPone is,
Can't be
Audra
talking like that.
McDonald has won, if it's about being on Broadway and Tonys, Audra McDonald has won all of the Tonys.
Real talk.
She's
That's all I knew. Gabby was like, yo, so Gabby came at me with like, I know these people energy.
right,
She's like,
yes.
she's like, can you believe this shit Patty's saying? I'm like, fuck Patty. Who we talking about? Don't like fully
No,
convinced this is co-workers at first. And
yeah.
she's like, so you know about Patty on Broadway? I'm like, okay, now I know where we going with the combo. Okay. What she do, honey? She was talking shit. You
Right.
know what I mean? And like, you know what I mean? Then Audra stepped up and checked her, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? And like, cause she was saying that, like, yo, this other girl can't talk shit because she ain't on my level. And
Right.
Audra bodies her,
Mhm.
bodies her. You know
Just
what I mean?
like,
And I know Gabby angry when she start talking like me. Like all
okay.
her slang start changing. You know what I mean? Real thought. She'd be like, crushes that girl. Crushes her. You know what I mean? She got 3 Tonys. Audra got double, nothing. And she younger than her. She's been doing it in less time.
Yep,
Like I was like,
and has,
okay,
like, double digit number of Tonys,
yeah.
I think.
So I was like, yo, so Gabby going off. You
Right.
know what I mean? And then she's sending me like, she started sending me blind audio. Listen to this shit. Listen to this shit. She DMs me MP3 or some shit. I didn't even know they made those anymore. Send me a link of just audio. And it was the same song being sung by 2 women.
Right. Oh,
And I was like,
from Gypsy? Because
yeah.
Patti LuPone also, it's a, yeah, yeah.
So I was like, I don't know who these people are, but like the first one's noticeably worse. That's Patty. That's Patty. That's Gabby Knight.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, Patti LuPone doing Gypsy was just like, yeah, sure, absolutely, yeah, that makes sense. She's playing the mom's kinda nuts and yada,
Right.
yada, but this year, I think it was this year, they were like, "Oh, yeah, Audra McDonald is going to play, uh, you know, Mama in Gypsy," and when I tell you, look, I went to see it.
Okay. Okay.
I went to see it. I'm not that I'm not a Broadway person. A very few musicals. I'm more of a dance musical than a song
Okay.
musical. But I was just like, nah, I got to see. I've
Yo.
only seen it like on television or whatever, but I got to see Audra live do this shit,
Yeah.
And yeah, so like that's probably driving Patty LuPone insane
Real talk.
because that's in a season where it's like George Clooney, Denzel, and Jake Gyllenhaal. You know what I mean? Like all of these people, everybody on Glengarry Glen Ross, like
Real
all of these,
talk.
it's a big star-studded thing. Like, and Patty LuPone is there with Mia Farrow. That should be big,
Right.
but it ain't.
It
Audra
ain't.
is. So I'm sure she's salty. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I think Patty is always, she's just one big salt lick. She's always salty, it feels like. Um, and so, yeah, so this was kind of it was kind of wild that there was this open letter that was just like, "Hey, check yourself before you wreck yourself," and
Yo.
that she then put out an apology. It's like she even says in the apology, "Hey, I'm known for speaking my mind and never apologizing for it. Well, I'm apologizing now. My bad. I probably okay. Too much." And I'm like, it really did feel like because there was. It's just like, why were the two? To be fair, she did also talk shit about Glenn Close and call her a bitch in the piece. but,
Okay.
the 2 that got it the hardest, it feels like, were those 2, and
Yeah.
especially because one was pointing out the microaggressions.
Right.
So, and Grand Dame Audra? No, we gon' somebody gonna have to answer for that.
Real talk, yo.
Yeah, so
Listen,
it was
yeah,
wild. It was wild to see that apology, I will say. And
it's out
again,
there.
let me say, not even a Broadway person I am.
Yo, bro, I added this article because of Gabby. Like, people sent it to me after, but like I was like, yo, you so moved by this? Somebody got to care. Like, I know other people heard of this, but
Right?
she's like, yo, real talk, and she was like she kept bringing it up all week because she went to a show this week too, and like she was there with like one of our homegirls. And like when she gets back, normally she gives me a recap of what she enjoyed about the show. Like,
Mhm.
oh, like this person's performance was great. I'm glad I saw it. I saw it before, was but whatever. You know what I mean? She comes back, she's like, yo, me and Gigi sat down, and as soon as we got there was another couple talking about the Patty thing. You know what I mean? It's going everywhere,
It's
Gastor.
going
Like, real
I'm
talk.
sure that's all they're talking about in
Yo,
Midtown right now. It's just all of that. Like, that was wild. It was kind of wild that there was a apology,
real talk.
and it felt like, if not, like, from her hands, it didn't feel like it was like, it wasn't, "I'm sorry if anyone took offense," which is honestly the way I thought that she would go if she had to
Right,
apologize at all. And it didn't feel like very much a PR written thing. It
right.
felt a bit like from her, like, "Okay, alright." But I I don't know if you could do it anymore begrudgingly. I bet she was begrudged as fuck. Because I feel like women who are kinda like that, they'll apologize, but they ain't happy about it.
Real talk.
They are not happy about it. So I'm curious to see how this looks, later. I mean, the Tonys are like, that's the other thing, is that the Tony Awards are like Sunday.
Yo, it's gonna be still
So,
drama.
like, yeah, so, like, people are nominated for shit, and people
Mhm.
gotta be there, and so, they sh she wrapped this up in time to get to the she probably had a dress ready, so she's like, "Oh, no, I can't just show up," and they'd be like, "Sorry, Patty," like, this yeah, like, "Let
Low
me
key, might
apologize so I can be there," but they may come to fisticuffs. I can't wait.
real talk. Yo, yo, real question, real question.
Yes.
She's been on Broadway, Patty.
Mhm.
I would say 40, 50 years.
40 years? Yeah.
Okay. Since she's been a Broadway person.
Uh-huh.
It's a guess, none of us know. But real talk, over under. This is the fourth time she's had to apologize in 40 years.
I don't think so.
You think it's less, right?
Yeah, I don't know if she's ever apologized like this.
Real talk. I was trying to think of a number that's like ridiculous, like that's ridiculously low.
Yeah, I
Like you
but
got to
I
make one
also
apology a decade as a person.
yeah, but also what that speaks to is the awareness of, like, knowing what a microaggression is. Like, having the language that we have to explain, um, like, what happens to Black people
Right.
on the regular at the hands of, American whites, or really whites all over. But God bless you guys.
Real
Anywho,
talk. Shots to Poland, baby.
yeah. Man, I bet y'all get on the nerves of those 4,000 people, but what we gonna do? What we gonna do? It's cold over there, so hey. Um, but I mean, like, even like with the beat, like I think we only in the past 10 years have had like the proper language and looking at it in a particular way that it's
Mm,
not that it wouldn't fly. I'm sure some of the stuff that she said, absolutely. Also, the internet, the audience is bigger.
right, right,
So this is all stuff that's probably been contained in the Broadway world, even though she like that's the other thing is, she would talk shit about someone in the piece, and then they try to talk to the person that they talk to, and they're like, "I mean, that's Patty." So that's how
right.
like, or they say something that's just like, "Oh boy, okay, that was low key. Uh, you really kind of got her there, but you used big words, so no one's going to say anything." Because she was on a TV show for a number of years called Life Goes On.
Okay.
Um, remember the show with the family where one of the kids had Down syndrome, Corky? Do you
Nah, I don't
remember
know
that? No,
this
you
one.
don't remember that. Anywho, she was the mother. She was the matriarch of that family.
Okay.
Um, and so she was saying in the article, she was saying like, the guy who played the father of the family, like she hated him. By the end, she just hated him and hated doing the show and blah blah blah. And then they asked that guy, and he was like, "She is one of the most guileless people I've ever met." And I was like,
Okay.
"What does guileless mean?" So I know what it is that she is saying. Guileless means sly or cunning intelligence.
Ah.
So, and yeah, so that's what guile means. Um, so like, I don't know. I was just like, man, that's kind of harsh. So, yeah, so I think she's been this way, but it's been contained in
Oh,
parts of entertainment that it didn't reach everybody.
right.
And so that's probably why she's having to do that now. Because I'm sure, I mean, it took a few days before this apology,
Yeah, real talk.
and people were surprised by the apology. And I think it's because I'm sure she was included in the surprise because she's probably like, who's even talking about this? And then someone opened up TikTok and just scrolled through clip after clip of thousands of people being like, Patty LaPone ain't shit. And she's
Real
probably
talk.
like, well, goddamn. And the Tonys are in like 5 days. Go on and put out this little. They wrote a letter to me.
Real
They
talk,
signed a
yo.
petition.
Who are these people?
Yeah, let me go on and say sorry, but I bet she's salty as fuck,
Real talk.
and she's probably gonna say something on that red carpet because she was the one where someone asked her on the red carpet, "Would you ever perform for Trump?" And she's like, "No, because I hate that motherfucker," or some shit like that. Like, she doesn't mince words.
Right, right.
So for her to, like, apologize, I'm like, "Well, I hope you mean it because you don't know how to fucking, like, act like you don't." You know what I mean?
Yo,
Yeah,
real talk.
so, anywho, tune into the Tonys. 'Cause that
Little more
camera's
drama
gonna
all
be
the
on
way,
her the
baby.
whole time.
In other news, home sellers are now outnumbering buyers by the largest margin in 12 years. After years of bidding wars and climbing home prices, the balance of power in the housing market may finally be shifting. Home sellers now vastly outnumber buyers in the United States, according to an analysis released by Redfin. The report found that there are nearly 500,000 more home sellers in the market than buyers as of April, the largest gap between the two groups since Redfin began compiling the data in 2013. The data is an early indication that the US housing market may be experiencing a slowdown, not because home prices nationally are becoming more affordable, but because there are fewer buyers. It's the latest sign that a long building affordability crisis, now compounding by trade tensions and recession fears, may be finally catching up with the housing market.
Here's the important part. Despite the recent drop off in demand for new houses, prices have continued to rise. Alright, well, then I guess we at a standstill.
Real talk, me.
If you ain't gonna lower these prices, then I ain't gonna buy your house. Now what?
Yo, real talk.
Now
You
what we
got
do?
some of y'all got to cut y'all losses, my G. Real
Yeah,
talk.
like, yeah, yeah.
Everything that you cop ain't worth a million now. Okay, them
Okay?
houses, it is what it is. Like some of them houses got to come back down to normal, my G. All right, you gotta be realistic. The house is in
Yeah.
Alabama, homie. Okay, nothing wrong with Alabama. Beautiful area,
Right.
warm,
Right.
down south, sunny,
Mhm.
great. But just because you bought it 20 years ago, don't mean it went up because it's been 20 years. The
Right.
house is still in Alabama. It's still a regular crib. It's still a nice crib. There's a whole bunch of yard right next to you that they could just build another crib.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Every market ain't New York where like there's no space. It's the only reason this is weird here.
No.
Everywhere else there should be like a slowdown, and even here
Well,
we got
no,
out
I
of
mean,
pocket.
there are still, yeah, no, out here is insane. New York does its own particular math. So whatever it is that happens in New York, it can't even necessarily be compared to any place else except maybe San Francisco.
Right?
Because San Francisco, I think may still be the most expensive city in the
Yeah, and
US.
similar problem. There's just nowhere to build.
Right.
I get it, But
Yeah,
like everywhere else in the country, y'all just got out of pocket raising these prices.
yeah.
That like
Or
beautiful
you're
homes.
building, but who's coming to get these? That's what I wonder, like, anytime I see a new shiny shoebox on its side go up, I'm like, "Who do you have lined up to buy these things?
Yeah.
Who's buying this?" I think that every time I go to Atlanta, I'm just like,
Who,
who's getting in these?
yeah, who's this for?
Who is this for?" And, yeah, like, you gotta come down off of these. And honestly, eh, come down or not, wages aren't going up.
Yeah.
So, I even if I had the bare amount necessary to buy a house, I don't think I could maintain it, and I think that's what people are concerned with right now is not just maintaining a house, but maintaining, their life.
Yeah, real talk.
It's tough right now, and I believe it's only going to get tougher,
I agree. They
and
broke the
so
math. The whole idea of like buying a home being a smart idea,
mhm,
I don't think it's good advice anymore. There's too many people that like buying a home would be a detriment because, to your point, it kills your cash flow
mm,
and it increases the likelihood that you're going to have an emergency that empties your savings.
right,
Because now you got to not only worry about health and personal life, you got to worry about the house. Now,
yeah,
I mean, a boiler go out, that's a you problem now. You know what I
right,
mean?
exactly,
You know what I mean? Like, there's just things that like those aren't realistic things to like expect everybody to be able to afford
mhm,
randomly when they're also making a brolic mortgage payment.
right,
You completely like change the whole dynamic of the American dream, all of that, because of the rising prices.
yeah.
Insane.
Well, I think honestly, I think it all went wrong when, the mindset shifted over to, you have to like, the quality of housing or the cost of housing, like, it will only rise. Like, it's
Yeah, it's crazy.
what houses are worth will only rise. And I'm like, "How is that possible?" I remember asking myself that, like, 25 years ago, just like, "Well, how does that work?" Like, at no point will it falter?
Yeah.
This will the worth of this will always keep going up? That can't be right.
Yo,
And,
I'll
yeah,
give you more arguments for that, shot. You telling me nobody built a shitty house?
right,
You know what I mean? Like, I seen people like in every other industry, somebody makes a bad one, they
mhm,
lower the price to get rid of it.
right.
Houses don't, they still stay there. And they like, oh nah, it's still worth that. How? I saw what you used to build that shit. It's trash. Like, you know what I mean? You made a mistake, I feel you. But
Right.
that should now cause you to like, yeah, I gotta drop the price on these cribs. Real talk, we fucked up trying to build them with loose leaf. Crazy idea. Right. You know what I mean? Bought these houses down, $75 each. So you know what I
Right.
mean? Like there should be an equivalent to that. I know I'm being ridiculous, but like something like that is real. That like the quality of the build should have caused people to like, oh, I gotta build this for less. The infrastructure that you were predicting, maybe like you were selling this as a future town and the buildings and businesses didn't come. That should cause it to go for less. Or people moved away. That should cause it to go for less. Not it's this price forever until someone bucks. Like
Right.
it's crazy,
Yeah.
insane,
And
insane.
also the mindset of, like, housing and property as, like, wealth.
Right?
No one just wants to be in a house. Like, I mean, the whole family thing and having a family home, maybe I don't know if that just now feels so I mean, it does feel so like there's no way that's possible,
Yeah,
but there are lots of cases where there's just, like, someone in the family had a home, couple of them had homes, and those are the houses for family, like,
yeah,
just circle like, and there's no sense of that anymore because people are constantly, like, flipping like, family homes are being snatched up and then flipped and then just sitting there empty, and I'm like, that could have that's another generation could be in that house, like, making that
yeah,
like, it feels like it's sentimental, but it's also, like, how neighborhoods work, how people thrive.
yeah.
So, I don't know how sentimental it is, but it just feels very, like, what? Why
Real
would you
talk,
why did that change to, like, here's a way you can make money? And I'm like, that's ugh, boy, capitalism. Am I
real
right?
talk, B. Everything don't gotta get flipped, okay?
Right,
Leave that
right.
shit alone, B. This shit irks me. Real talk. I I got too many. Yo, you have no. It bothers me because like you have no idea how many of my friends hit me up on some real shit. Like, yo, I think I've been house shopping on Amazon, like shit like that. Like, yo, you can get a crib, like all the parts delivered to a yard,
Right.
and it's a simple thing like a studio, but like that's a more realistic option to like people that I know that like I'm gonna buy land in a state where the rules are pretty like
Mhm.
vague in terms of like or easy to just like put a cabin up
That
and
actually is like a throwback.
yeah,
Yeah, they used to sell, like, full housing kits on, like, Sears Roebuck, and
real talk.
the whole house would come and they'd set it up on whatever the land is that you have, like, that's kind of a throwback.
Real talk. I had like legit maybe in this year, I've had that combo like 4 times with
Oh,
people that I
wow.
grew up with that aren't in Brooklyn anymore.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, I'm looking to buy a crib. I've been looking at like container homes or like I saw some on Amazon that like are pre-built and like
Mhm.
all you got to do is buy the lot and like do the base yourself so that you have plumbing and shit. And
Right.
they'll deliver it for you and boom, you got a crib. You know what I mean? And like and I'm like, that's dope. And like it's wild that like that's the only way that they can afford a crib.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Meanwhile, there are neighborhoods right down the
Empty.
2 miles down the road that no one's living in these houses because they can't afford it,
Yeah.
and no one wants to bring down the price because they're like, this is how much I put into it to try and sell it.
Right.
Also, I'm
They
trying
do
to
it.
recoup, and I'm like, "That's
Nah,
where you went
B.
wrong, buddy."
Real talk, B. Sometimes the re-up ain't a re-up, my G. You
Yeah.
cutting losses, homie.
Yeah,
Yo,
you can't y everyone can't win all the time.
that's it, B.
Or we just need to adjust what winning is.
Yeah. Sometimes it's also just not losing the most. Real talk. And that's okay.
That's a bar right there. Hold on, let me write that down.
If
Sometimes
you would
winning
like
is not losing the most. That's absolutely that should go on a checkbook holder, honestly.
if you would like more financial advice from Shalewa and Gastor,
What
uh,
we gas
bro,
for?
all you gotta do is like, subscribe to the show, baby. If you're Apple or Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars. You think you know everything and you're gonna flip your house. And listen, good luck. I'm not even mad at you. I
Mhm.
just know it's not gonna work. Uh,
Not right now. Looks like
not
not
right
right
now.
now.
Ain't no one buying. Real
Mm.
talk. Uh, 5 stars. You know it's not gonna work. And also, like Gastor, you learned why that Street Fighter 2 character was named Guile. Pretty cool. You know what I mean?
Well, there you go. There you go.
Bro, I thought that was just a word, like a name. Turns out
Uh-huh.
means sly and cunning. Makes sense for the fighter that was in the video game. Look at that. That's beautiful. If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter and Instagram at Silky Jumbo and at Gastor Almonte. Shout out sweet to Iron Fist Mom and Kaya Tessie. Always appreciate y'all. With all that said, I am the guile. You know what I mean? I don't know. I can't be that guy because I couldn't even think of where to go with that.
Alright, well,
Uh,
that's fine. By next week, he will have worked it into 2 conversations.
you know it. I'm doing it, figuring it out. Okay, I am the admittedly going to pretend that I noticed the sky
Okay.
and the smoke when I go upstairs and talk to Gabby Gastromonte. I'm gonna use that
Alright.
real talk. I'm gonna be
Okay.
like, yo, honey, you noticing?
That's great. Oh, man, I can't make sure to
Child,
tell me how that conversation goes.
I do this almost every week with us. Just so you know, anytime you tell me some shit that I know, I'll be impressing the fuck out of Gabby. She be like, yo, Gas was really like paying attention. Nope. Oh man, you think I'm playing? I'm gonna go upstairs right after this recording. Yo, it's crazy outside. Are you noticing that? She like, nah, but like, yeah, you right. And I'm like, hell yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh my
Ain't seen a
god.
thing, Sha.
Hmm.
Oh man. Well, I think okay, now I understand. With my guile co-host
Oh,
who
okay.
notices things like that. Shalewa Sharpe.
Yeah, that's me, a regular Patty LaPone.
Oh man. This has been the most Broadway ever edition of the War
It
Report.
really has.
Amen.
I didn't
Bringing us
even give
together.
my review of, Glengarry Glen Ross, which I did see. I'm doing a lot of Broadway this spring.
Yo, that's
I'm
what's up. What you
doing a
think?
lot of Broadway. Huh?
You enjoyed it?
It was good. It was short. I mean, it was, an hour, 45 minutes, and 15 of those minutes were intermission. So it was short but sweet, but,
Okay.
yeah, like, it was I I thought everyone was good. At some point, I closed my eyes just to listen to it,
Okay.
because the playwright, David Mamet, he's known for, having a way with language and the rhythm of it
Mm.
and all that kinda stuff, and so, especially the main scene with, Bill Burr and Michael McKean, they have a scene in the beginning together that I closed my eyes and listened to, and it was great. Bill Burr was good, but Bill Burr was also playing a guy who seems a little bit desperate and just hates everybody seemingly,
Okay.
um, which I'm like, "Okay." Like, well, got it. You know what I mean?
Okay. You can
Like,
hit that note.
yeah, I was like, "I wonder if they picked him because these words just sounded the most natural out of his mouth."
Right. For sure.
But he did a good job. Um, Kieran Culkin, who I'm still not 100% sold on,
Okay.
as an actor, he, came around for me.
Okay.
I thought he was alright because I didn't really watch Succession. I mean, I liked him when he did his first move or his early movie, Igby Goes Down, where he was
Okay.
kind of a wisecracking, like, teenager, but he's also
Right.
been that since then. And he so, I don't know why I turned to him looking for depth. He ain't got it. But he ended up being, pretty good. I
I
enjoyed
enjoyed
it.
him in Real Pain. I thought he was
Yeah,
dope.
and Bob Odenkirk was great.
Yeah, yeah,
I
he different.
really liked him. So, it was nice. It was nice.
Look at that. And we doing a review for
Look
y'all.
at
Come on, we
that.
do it all here, baby. Shouts to Bill Burr for making Broadway like condense their time to 145 so you can still fit in spots.
Nah, yeah,
That's some
no, for
stand-up shit.
real though, because he was, like, doing. Because I had a coworker who was like, "Oh, he went to, like, the Beacon or something, and Bill Burr was doing, like, a 10 o'clock spot."
I
Uh,
promise.
and he didn't get on the stage till, like, 11:30, and he was just kinda working things out. I was like, "Yeah, that's his open mic."
Yeah, real talk.
Oh, I'm like, "Yeah, no, he can do these short ass plays and then be in the cellar in no time flat."
Real talk, yo. Yeah, that's the dream, yo. Shouts to Burr. Real talk. Doing your thing out there,
I
B.
know.
Catch y'all next time. Peace.